Come back. I'm glad you're making use of them because they are very helpful there. Anything which helps a person develop some nice meditation is really, really important. When I was 18, that's when I first meditated. And only 5 minutes of meditation. I was as a student in Cambridge. And still it was peaceful. There was something beautiful in it, something really attractive to meditation. And that beauty, that peace, that delight is what hooked me from the very beginning. It's what I like to hook other people on. The sheer peace and beauty of meditation. Which means any place, any time. Whenever you've got a few minutes, you can actually, in quiet place, if you're lucky, or making a bubble around you, if you're in a noisy place, just close your eyes and be for a while in a very peaceful, beautiful, natural place. Look after your body, look after your mind. It's a huge impact on your life. That's why I literally love, my passion to teach meditation, especially to let people know how it works, and how they can also enjoy the same peace as much as they enjoy. But we always have to start at the very beginning, because at first it's difficult for people. They're always sitting down and they either fall asleep or they start thinking. And it's hard for them to find a middle way to where, not asleep, not thinking, just knowing. It's very clear. And so this is actually the path we follow. Last night I started talking about the Satipatthana Sutta, which is how you can make use of that formulation that we did before, and how you can make use of that when you get into meditation, get yourself started. But there are a few things I never mentioned, so I'm going to continue on with the same subject and how we make use of this in the beginning stages of meditation. Because if any of you have actually studied that or heard it, because it's talked about so much in places like Malaysia, you probably have heard it before. But there is a preparation of the Satipatthana, which I never mentioned yesterday. And it is part of arousing mindfulness before you even start doing some Satipatthana. But that particular phrase is usually translated, where most of you will recognize it from, is where it says, having put away grief and covetousness from the world. And what that is implied is Lokia Bija Dhammanasa. And whether it's in Pali or in English, it probably makes no sense to you, because it made no sense to me either. But put away covetousness and grief for the world. Yeah, sometimes you can have grief for your grandma who passed away, but grief for the world and covetousness. That's such an old English saying that no one uses it anymore. So, what I did as a young monk, I had a good brain, so why not learn some Pali, which I did. In school, I learned Latin, and Latin is so close to Pali. The structure is almost exactly the same. So it's very easy for me just to learn new vocabulary, new endings of the words, and learn Pali. So then I could read these teachings of the Buddha in the original. And that was just an eye-opener to see what Buddha actually said, not how people translated it, but how he taught it. You know, one of the things which I found when I was first looking through, especially on Guju Nikari Pali, just reading it from beginning to end, it's pretty easy to understand, was that term came up again and again and again. Also, Dhammanasa, not so often, but a few times. And that word, translated in Satipatthana, as in having abandoned grief for the world, that is a synonym for Kamachandra, the first of the 5 impulses. Not just once, but maybe 50 times. It's used as an alternative word for the first of the 5 impulses. So it became quite clear that in Satipatthana what the word meant was having abandoned the first impulse And the second hindrance, Domanassa, was a synonym to suttas for the second hindrance, usually called Vayakana. So there you found out that this was actually meaning having abandoned, or rather not abandoned, the word is better, I say, having restrained, having suppressed, if you like, the first of the two hindrances. And then, of course, you look at how other people translated that and looked at what we call the commentaries. And in that commentaries, there you find exactly that. They said those two terms mean having restrained, having limited, suppressed the first of the two hindrances. Now, that makes the preparations of Satipatthana, having limited one's first hindrance, greed, sensual desire, having limited ill will. And how do we actually do that? By keeping our precepts. By a little bit of sense restraint. Those are the two things which are the preparation for Satipatthana. Precepts and sense restraint. So when I go and teach in the United States, they say, oh no, just do whatever you like, you have alcohol, only as long as you're mindful. They say, no, that's not Satipatthana. That's where it's meant there. Having restrained these first two hindrances, the greed, the wanting, that is the job of the precepts, and also the ill will, the second hindrance. That's the job of the precepts, and also a little bit of metta meditation, the teddy bear, a great way for restraining one's ill will and negativity. You hug a teddy bear, and it's just so hard to get negative. You're so nice and cuddly. I'm missing my teddy bear. Never mind, I've got plenty. So, this is our preparation. And then also a little bit of sense restraint. Like again, that's why we have the silence as much as we possibly can. Just to restrain, just going out into the world, looking at this, going at that. My two attendants did ask me this morning, do you really want at the end of the retreat to go up on the cable cars? And I said, hey, that might be a good idea. At the end of the retreat, we can take all the young pals and I can go up to the casino, double or nothing. All the nations PGF do, double or nothing. I'm not sure you should have some pals. No, we don't do that because once actually, a very famous nun did that. You know, I came her. She was the one responsible for this story. You know what she did? She was in England and she was teaching a meditation retreat. So having finished the meditation retreat, she was being driven from the retreat place to Heathrow Airport to catch a flight back to where she was going, but live in the country. And on the way, they had to stop for lunch before noon. So they stopped for lunch, and the driver bought us some lunch, and because the driver eats in the afternoon, she finished early, I came and was still eating. And so when they passed out of the restaurant, and it was in England, the restaurant was next to a pub. But you had to go through the bar to get to the restaurant. It was okay, it only went quickly. So, as they were going out, through the front of the bar, there was one of these machines, like you have a Genting. You pull the lever, these things go out. What do you call them? They call them pokie machines in Australia. Slot machines. The jackpot. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So, the driver, she had a few English coins left over, but not enough to go to her counter and get them exchanged for the currency where she was going to. So not enough to really change it, but too heavy for her pocket. So I'll just put them in the slot machine. I had about 3 or 4 of them. So she put the $2 in the slot machine, pulled the handle, round it went, nothing happened, another $2, pulled the machine. Getting to the last coin, she just put it in the machine, and who walked past? But I came with a nun. And this driver, this Upatak, the attendant, said, wow, you have all the good karma, not me. You pull the handle. And in one moment, lack of mindfulness, That's what she did. She called it. Without really thinking. Jackpot. Honestly, you can't believe these things if they wouldn't actually happen. The jackpot happened. And all this money started pouring out of the machine onto the nuns' robe, all over the place. Without thousands of pounds, I don't know how much, it was a jackpot. Just one pour, that's all. So, this was in the front of the bar, in the pub, and as soon as that happened, everyone drinking in the bar went totally quiet. This was amazing. And then the man behind the bar serving the drinks, he got out of bed and rang it, ding, 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 ding. Because it was a custom. You know, in England you have customs, so many customs and traditions, you have to keep them. But anyone who won the jackpot had to buy a round of drinks for everyone in the bar at the time. So the poor nun had to break all her precepts and buy whiskey, gin and tonics for every person in the bar. That's the trouble. So I'm not going up there. I'm not going anywhere near a casino or one of those machines. You know why? Because if I put it, it wins. And that's the big trouble. Losing is no problem, but when you win, then you're in big trouble as a bloke. It's great, isn't it? That actually happens. But anyway, so let's go back down to the keeping restraint, keeping just a bit of happiness and joy, and just keeping your precepts while you're here. That restrains those hindrances, which means your mind isn't all over the place, which means you've got a chance for some energy to start building up in your mindfulness. Because for most people, you are no mindfulness state. It's not your fault. Don't feel guilty about it. It's just because you work hard. You have to go backwards and forwards. I don't know how much work you have to do, just that fundraising dinner on Saturday evening. I don't know what time you go into bed that night, but it's really, really late. All the other people helping out, sorting out this retreat. It's a lot of work. So with all of that activity, your mind will be low energy. It's just what happens. So when you restrain everything, sense restraint, you're not doing very much, you're not talking. And for those of you on retreat, it's brilliant. You don't have to do anything. You know, the food is up there ready for you. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to wash up. You don't have to talk to your husband. Here he goes again. You don't have to listen to your wife. You don't have to worry about your kids. What they're up to, who cares? But it's so simple when you're here. Because it's simple in this retreat, it means that you're not losing so much energy. Energy has to start to build up and build and build. And that's when you get strong mindfulness. And you know you have strong mindfulness when you wake up in the morning and you're clear. You're not, what am I supposed to do this morning? When you're not really human until you've had your first cup of coffee. But after a while, you've... Okay, this is a quiz for you. Who is this? Who is this? You wake up in the morning and you're happy even without any coffee or any caffeine at all. That you can sleep anywhere at any time, and you don't have insomnia, you have no stress, you're always happy to see the people you live with, you can eat anything, and you have no stress, always happy. Who is that? No? It is your dog. If you've got a dog at home, he doesn't need a cup of coffee, he's happy straight away. He's always happy to see you. You can even shout at the dog and they still lick you. They've got no stress. Have you ever seen a dog having to go to a psychologist because it's depressed? Many dogs have committed suicide. I don't think they have. But you can feel like that, even higher than the dog, where you relax and peaceful, and then you find the energy starts coming back into your body. And this is one of the reasons why the first couple of days of the retreat, don't expect anything at all. Just be resting. If you need to go back to your room, any time, go back. Even during my talk, I don't like this talk, go back to your room. Because you will find you have what in psychology they call sleep deficits. You haven't done enough sleep over the last 3 months, especially for someone like Paul Victor. So you've been working so hard, so you've got a nice bed, go use it. You know, it's not that expensive in this place, but still you have to pay money for your bed. So get the most use out of it. And anyway, to encourage you to rest, there is, those who've gone on my retreats in Perth know this one, it is remembering how the Buddha's attendant, Ananda, became fully enlightened. So we call this the Ananda method of meditation. It was successful. This is what made him enlightened. Because you may know the Buddhist story about Ananda was the Buddha's attendant for 25 years. Sitting right next to the Buddha, listening to all these amazing teachings, seeing all these great monks and nuns come up and become enlightened. For 25 years he was just a slave, and he wasn't getting anywhere at all. He was just working, serving all that time. When the Buddha said he was about to pass away, oh my goodness, if I couldn't get enlightened when I was sitting right next to a Buddha, what hope is there for me once he's dead? So the poor Ananda got just so dispirited. And of course the Buddha passed away. There was lots of work to be done afterwards. So poor Ananda thought that he'd broken in this lifetime, that he would get enlightened. But then what happened next? A few months after the Buddha passed away, all the senior monks decided that we have to preserve these amazing teachings. The only way we can do that, let's have a big conference. Let's bring all of the famous monks together so we can actually rehearse all of the teachings which we've remembered. We can keep rehearsing it. That way we can preserve the teachings. So that was their idea. That's what happened at the Satipatthana cave. I think we probably went there to see. Don't know how they get 500 monks in there, but anyway, it's only tiny cave. But anyway, 500 monks were invited. 499 of those were fully invited. And the odd one out was Ananda. They said we have to invite him even though he's not enlightened because he's heard so much. So there, the following day, Ananda would have to face all of his friends. They'd all graduated and he was still in school. Imagine that, you meet all of your friends from school at a reunion. And you find they're all doctors and professors and university graduates, and you are still repeating your own levels. How do you feel? You feel so embarrassed. And so he said to himself, tomorrow I have to be with my friends. They're all enlightened, I'm still stupid. I've got to do something about that. So that night, he gave it everything he could. No sleep, no rest. This was enlightenment or bust. He really gave it everything he got. Full energy, full power, using everything he'd ever heard to try and get enlightened. And when the dawn rose, he was still as stupid as ever. Not enlightened. Not anywhere close to enlightenment. And that was just really depressing. So what do people do these days when they're depressed? If they're a girl, they go shopping. But this is a lie. I know it's true. Shocking therapy. If it's a monk, can't go to the pub. That's where people in England go. Australia, they get depressed. So no. he decided to go and take a nap. Another hour before the meeting starts, oh, what the heck, been up all night, I'll take a nap. So he went to his room and he went to lay down. And just before his head hit the pillow, he became a 500-hour hat, fully enlightened. He cracked it just at that moment. Why? Because he let go. He was trying all that time, and now he came up. He relinquished. He let go. He stopped trying. He stopped trying to get attainments. He abandoned. That's why he became enlightened. So from this day on, we call that the Ananda method of enlightenment. So if you want to try that method, after the talk, you go to your room, lay down. Obviously, probability theory, the more times you do it, the more likely it is that one day it's going to work. So don't say I'm taking a nap, say I'm practicing Ananda meditation method. You know what happened next? I was like the end of the story. Not only was he enlightened, he had psychic powers, the whole package. And so he said, well, how can I convince my friends that I've cracked it and I'm enlightened? So he deliberately arrived late. When the time had come, they waited a few minutes, and then they locked the door of the hall. And Nanda was still outside. So he entered through the keyhole. That is called making an entrance. So, if you want to prove to everybody here that yes, you're enlightened, you can maybe the keyhole over there, not the main door. And then that'll be cool, that'll be awesome. Maybe say, okay, yes, I'll give you the stamp, yes, enlightenment, psychic powers. So that's what we do. But anyhow, the reason I tell that story is it's good to have a bit of rest the first few days, and don't expect very much. To catch up. The alternative is to say, no, I can conquer my body with my willpower. So yeah, I'm stupid, but no, I'm going to stay sitting. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to make sure every day of this retreat, I'm going to be up here at 5:45, so I'm the first one in here, and I'm going to be the last one to leave the meeting. I'm going to really give it everything I've got. That's giving all the willpower, but not giving enough wisdom and kindness to what you're doing. You work with your body. You can actually feel it. It's tired. You keep pushing, you get more and more tense. Your peaceometer goes to high agitation. It's going the wrong direction. So instead, just relax. You will fall asleep during meditation. It's natural until your energies and mindfulness start increasing. When they get to a certain level of energy, because you're not doing anything, you're relaxing, you're restraining. You are restraining those first two hindrances of wanting and doing and your will. Then you find the energy builds. Then you have natural mindfulness, which means you can sit for an hour, no problem at all, not falling asleep, and be able to have enough mindfulness of the body to really relax without falling asleep. Enough mindfulness of the peaceometer that you don't go off into thoughts or again into darkness. You can see it clearly. You know what it is because your mindfulness is strong enough energy and power. So that's what it really means by having enough mindfulness to begin with. It's having enough energy in the mind to begin with. And that energy comes from rest. Physical rest, but what's more important is mental rest. So for goodness sake, you don't have to think about the stock market. Thinking about it's not going to change it. You don't need to think about your family. You think about the rest of you and look after yourself for a while. And anyway, I have so many stories, like the story about the doctors in Jerusalem. This is true, I have the paper. They went on strike for 2 or 3 weeks. In the 3 weeks they went on strike, they did emergency work, but nothing else. In the 3 weeks the doctors were not working in the hospitals in Jerusalem. The death rate plummeted. Not so many people died when the doctors weren't working. That's interesting, what's going on there. Sometimes we think, oh, we have to intervene, we have to do something. Sometimes one of the best things is to stand back and leave it alone. In Australia, the economy never goes as well as when the government are not working. When the government has this policy or that policy, it always messes up. So there's a lot to be said for inactivity. I know, I'm not sure if this happens in KL, but it certainly happens in Australia. Every now and again, there's a power outage in the intersections. No red lights, no yellow lights, no green lights. And the traffic runs so much more smoothly when you trust people to make the right decisions, when to actually to go through, when to stop. Because I know it happens many times. You had a red light, there's no one for miles coming the opposite direction, but you still have to wait. But actually not having so many controls, things often go much more smoothly. Or even in your body, sometimes the best way of healing the wound is to put plaster on it, clean it, isolate it, let the body heal it, instead of keeping on interfering. So a lot of times, I like the idea of inaction as a positive way to create very good outcomes. And that's especially in the mindfulness. Just leave things alone. Don't worry about stuff. It usually goes quite fine without you. You're not that important. Which means that you can relax. You don't need to think about so much. What are you thinking about anyway? How often has your thoughts come up with great solutions? How many times have you solved the world's problems with thinking? Even with good old Donald Trump. Did you hear about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump? No, at one of the meetings, he pulled out a gun and pointed it at the president-elect, Donald Trump. One of the security guards shouted out, "Donald, duck!" When the assassin burst out laughing, which meant he could pull the trigger. That's how we do such things. So you don't have to think so much, which means you can relax, your mindfulness starts to increase. A lot of the thing is not about ill will or about wanting something, craving. So when those two things are restrained, first of all, then you get aware. When you get aware, then you can feel the body, you can know what's going on in here. When you can start to feel it, that's a mindfulness. And I was saying yesterday, to find out what makes it more peaceful, what makes it more agitated or more painful. And if you want to know where that comes from, that's when it says in the Satipatthana, you notice the arising of things, this origin. You know how they disappear as well. It doesn't mean just rise and fall, it means the causes for the pain to get worse, the causes for it to disappear. If you want to check me out on that, that is in the Satipatthana Samyutta, number 42. I know it's number 42 because this year I got 42 rates as a monk. About time I retired. I mean, 40 years in any company, they usually give you a gold watch or something. I had a friend who was working in Harrods, it was a top department store in England. He was working there, and one of the fellows said after 40 years, he has his own toilet cubicle. That's all they get. Thank you for all the service. That's all I get. His own private, he's got a gold key, his own toilet cubicle in Harrods. What a waste of time. 40 years, that's all I get, my own toilet. Thank you so much. But now he's very proud. Anyway, back to we get to the rise and fall. Number 42 is actually the sutta where it explains what it means by the rise and fall technology, what causes these things to come up, what causes the pain, what causes it to relax and ease off. This is actually where you learn about your own body. And of course, when you learn about it, you've got some control over it. You can deal with aches and pains and sicknesses and other stuff. Why is it we don't have so many sicknesses and pains these days? Because we haven't learned about our body. But a very simple thing which I learned and taught, and again, amazing results. The one about every emotion in your body, so every emotion in your mind, whether it's anger, whether it's ill will, whether it's love, has a corresponding physical feeling somewhere in your body. When you're grief-stricken, really sad, you've lost someone very close to you, you can feel that somewhere in your body. It's a physical sensation in one particular place of the body, different than any other locations, any other physical feelings associated with that emotion. Once you can be mindful of that, it's amazing just how that can open up so many areas of emotional cures. It is self-help. Now, the classic story of this lady, she had anxiety, panic attacks, big time panic attacks. So gross, she was bedridden, couldn't get out of bed. Even though she was at Adelaide University at the time, having top doctors, top psychiatrists, psychologists, and give her free care, nothing worked at all. She was paralyzed with fear, couldn't even get out of the bed. And she was really lucky, her boyfriend, she had a boyfriend, and these are boyfriends, and girls, if you ever find a boyfriend like this, get a ring on from him as soon as you possibly can. These are boyfriends, very, very rare, high quality. Because he would cook for her, clean for her, do anything for her because she wasn't able to do anything. So, unfortunately, her uncle was a strong supporter of mine and told her to call me from Adelaide to Perth. And when she told me what the problem was, the solution was obvious. I said to her, next time you have a panic attack, a big one, so find out where it is located in your body. She said, I know, it's in my chest. I said, that's not good enough. I want coordinates, centimeters and millimeters, from your belly button, your navel. How much up, how much to the left or the right, and how wide is that feeling? I want more detail. Give me a call in 3 days. Gave her something to do. In 3 days, because she was a smart lady, she said, yes, I can now answer you. Every time I have a panic attack, I can feel the tension, the tightness, about 6.4 millimeters up from my about 2 inches or 2 centimeters to the right. It's like an oval about this wide. And she really gave a good description. That's getting mindfulness. Not just that it's around here somewhere. Being clear observation. So you get more details so you can tell somebody over the phone a couple of thousand kilometers away what's happening. Great, I said. Now, what does it feel like? And she said, oh, it was just tense. Not good enough. I want a clear description. As if you had to write this down in 1,000 words on a piece of paper. Because I really feel for doctors. When you go to see them, you say, well, what is it? It's painful. Yeah, but I mean, what painful? Describe it. Well, it's painful. How on earth can a doctor work on something like that? It's just too vague. So, 3 days later, she called me and she gave us amazing, I'm really impressed, this picture of the feelings, the tightness, the expansion, the ache, the burning pain, the cutting pain, whatever it was. It's amazing. It's great. Now you're mindful of that feeling. She observed it and observed it. The trick was to get her to do this because she had to pass the test to tell me. She passed. So next thing, When you have a panic attack the next time, now you're aware of it, kindness. Take your hand and massage that hand. Massage. As much kindness as possible. Just really sensuous, soft, kind of as if you're in a spa and getting a massage. And she said, well, sometimes I'm too weak to do that. I said, no trouble. Ask your boyfriend. Boyfriends would actually probably be very happy to massage you there. So, give me a call in 3 days' time. So, 3 days' time, she called back again and said, your body's not yet. Every time I had a panic attack, I massaged the area. If I could do it, my boyfriend did. So what happened to the feeling you had, the tension, the burning pain in that part of your tummy? So it went away, as you would expect. But then I asked her, what happened to the anxiety? And that's, I will never forget that moment. A classic, what they call light bulb moment. You figure it out, you get the insight, you understand. My anxiety went as well. Great. Now you know what to do. Because many of the emotions, they're a bit too difficult for us to be mindful of and understand. The physical counterpart in our body, we can understand that we're much more God-conscious than we are mind-conscious as human beings in our body world. So we work on the body. So I said, now you know what to do. Every time you have a panic attack, massage that area. The corresponding physical feeling will go, and so will the emotional feeling. Very importantly. It worked so beautifully. A few weeks later, out of hospital, back to her studies, passed with first class honours, went on to do an extra course over in Sydney. 1,000 people, only 2 people accepted. She was one of them. And a couple of years later, she came back to Perth with the same boy, Lloyd. And I did the marriage for them. They're still together, got 2 kids, saw them the other day. I saved her life. Otherwise, she'd probably be institutionalized right now. It works. This is every emotion you have. Fear, grief, anger. Next time you get angry, feel it in the body. What does it feel like, anger? Well, where is it you feel it? Well, once you notice where it's felt and what it feels like, you want to be really aware of it, enough to be able to locate it. How big is it? How narrow is it? Is it circular? Is it square? Is it straight? Tension? What is it like? Once you feel it, describe it to somebody really clearly. To do that, you have to watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it, really mindful of it, and then you can start massaging the canvas. And when the physical counterpart to anger vanishes, so does your anger. It's gone. There's a brilliant way using mindfulness, awareness, and the kindness, because the kindness is what relaxes it. That's the cause which allows it to vanish and disappear. That's what we're doing. Sattva. We're aware of how these things come and how they go. The causes. Because once we know the causes, then we've got the control. Take away the cause. Find out why that's happening. Do something else. And then you find all those angers, grief. You're in control of those things. You can just let them go very easily. Not what you're saying, oh, let go. You know exactly what to do to let it go. But the kindness just massage you here. So that is powerful. Even one of the doctors over in Perth, she came on a Friday to see me. Had to see me because she said it worked. One of my patients had chronic anxiety so bad she couldn't breathe, had to be on oxygen all the time. And as a doctor, a young doctor, she said, I did what I was trained to do. Gave this medication. If that didn't work, the next one on the list. If that didn't work, the next one on the list. A whole list of medications for anxiety. Until she got to the last medication on the list, and this woman was still anxious, still in bed, couldn't go anywhere, oxygen mask on, otherwise she's too anxious to breathe properly. And so, Thursday night, and she didn't know what else to do with this doctor, so she thought, well, no one's around. I know I might get into trouble for this, because this is not medical procedure. Ajahn Brahm's method. Shh, just between you and I. Next time you have anxiety attack, find it in your body, get your hand and massage it. So he told that patient the night before, the following morning when she came to work, this patient, she took a mask off, said, I feel great now, thank you very much, I'm going home. And that was it. And I really scolded that doctor. You should have told her that at the beginning, not waste so much of the government's money on this expensive medication, or give her for free hospitals. Whatever, this actually works. Because you're mindful, you get aware of your body. And later on, your mindfulness gets so strong, you can actually work out your mind. So you can understand why people get dull, why you get restless. You find the causes of these things. Dullness. When I was a young monk, I used to always fall asleep early in the morning. Meditation. Because we used to get up at 3 o'clock. But it was optional. You didn't have to get up at 3 a.m. You could get up at 2 a.m. if you wanted. Earlier. Not later. So there you go, getting up at 3 o'clock. And this was, I told you already, I like the cold. Give me an aircon and it's up 16 or something. I like cold. So, in Thailand, there was no, this is low down, not this beautiful place up in the hills over here, up in the mountains. This was so hot every morning. It was in a jungle, it was so humid. It was so oppressive. And we were only supposed to sleep 4 hours every night. And I cheated. I did 4.5. So that's all I could do. And I was young. But I was malnourished. Yeah, I've told you some of the food we had to eat there. I think I told this in, was it in PGF about frog soup? Frog soup. 1 meal of the day. I think I said this because somebody was asking about being a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian before as a monk, but once you went to Northeast Thailand, there were no vegetables. No fruit, except in the season. No vegetables. The usual meal was rice or whatever crawled on the forest floor. So this particular day, it was frog soup and rice for our 1 meal of the day. That's all we had. No breakfast, no dinner, no snacks in the evening, just bowl of sticky rice and frog soup. Now to describe frog soup for you, there's a big saucepan with water in, that's the soup. No salt, no garlic, no chili, no soy sauce, nothing, just boiled water and floating frogs. They're about sort of an inch long, maybe an inch and a half, just big enough to put on a spoon. You can have as many as you wanted. And we got the best frogs because we were monks. The villagers chose the very best frogs for us, and they had what's left over. So at least we had the best frogs. Tiny frogs about this big. You put them on the fridge. You have to put a sticky rice first of all. Then you put the frog on the spoon. You put it in your mouth, and you went crunch. No salt, just boiled frog. Not all the bones taken out like filleted frog. Not with the insides and organs taken out, like we do sometimes for chickens. Just everything. What are you setting me up for? Have you ever tasted it? What do you know about frog soup? You're all right, this is disgusting. But that's all we had to do, So and it's also the most important thing of this story is there's hardly any nutriment in those frogs. Even the frogs were malnourished. She was very poor part of the world. So they were malnourished in a hot climate, sleep deprived, and that's obvious. Those are the causes. That's why you fell asleep in the morning. But what I understood, what I got wisdom from, I had to go and do my visas in Bangkok once a year. So I went into Bangkok and he got some decent food there. No faults. There was like curries, fruit, some vegetables. There are vegetables in Bangkok. So I got some decent food. And in the temple we were staying at, there was a modern temple, a rich temple. They had one room with an aircon. And because we said, well, we get up at 3 o'clock, none of you city marks get up that time, we're not going to use it. Can we use it in the early morning for meditation? So we had got the key to use in the early morning before arms. So there, I had good sleep, and I had good food, aircon room, perfect meditation. No sleepiness at all. But it's obvious, there was nothing wrong with me. It was just the situations around, those were the causes. And I say to this day, if the Buddha had been born in London, he would have fallen asleep under the Bodhi tree as well. It's too hot. It's just cause and effect, that's all. So when you understand cause and effect, you understand why people get sleepy in meditation. So when you get tired, stop and talk in meditation. Don't just go fighting it. Ask why. Why are you dozing off in the meditation? When you actually find out why, you find out maybe it's a bit too hot, you take off the blanket. If it's too cold, get another blanket. If it's you haven't slept enough, go to bed and catch up. You haven't eaten well, or you're going through some sickness. It's nothing to do with you. It's just nature, that's all. The same if you're restless. If you're restless, it's just that you've been working too hard, worrying too much, thinking too much. You can't suddenly flip a switch and stop that when you're working. You've got to just slow down, slowly, until it takes less and less and less. It slowly goes on. So once you know the causes and effects, then you know how to meditate. You don't waste so much time, and you don't get so frustrated. So I say, don't go banging your head against the big wall, unless you're one of those Jewish priests. That's what happened once. This American tourist, he went to Jerusalem. They have this place called the Wailing Wall. And there is very strict Jewish people. They literally knock their head against the wall. And then they asked him, so what are you doing that for? I said, I'm praying for world peace. Are you getting anywhere? No. It's like knocking my head against the brick wall. I think that's where it came from. That's like knocking your head against the brick wall. From Jerusalem. But don't you do. All you get is a headache. So be wise. Whenever you come across a brick wall in meditation, stand back. And you will find, just to the left is a door. Just to the right is a ladder to go over. Somebody showed me a video, a news clip. Australia was building another detention centre for refugees. Or we call it legal migrants, whatever we call it. And millions of dollars. It's much cheaper just to give them a first class ticket to somewhere. I don't know, at least look after them, let them come in. But anyway, politics is politics. But they could only afford the gates. And on the news clip they showed us a high-tech security gate. They were really impenetrable. And guards, laser away, everything. But then the camera panned back. And about 5 meters to the right, the fence ended. Because they never had enough money to finish it. A really good gate, but no fence. To the left or the right of the gate. That's government for you, politics, probably same in Malaysia. Really good gate, but nothing else. Having just walk around on the other side. So that is like the obstacles in meditation. Too often, we don't stand back and see the causes. And then it's so easy to overcome the obstacles in meditation. Which means that mindfulness gets strong. The stronger it gets, the more you can see. The more you can see, the more you understand. You understand how easy it is to whiz through the obstacles of meditation, especially beginning ones. You're not thinking so much, you're not worrying so much, you're not so tired, and your energies come up. And the last thing I'm going to say about the energies of the mind, you understand from your mindfulness, from your awareness, the less you do, the more energy you get. And the more energy you get, the happier you become. Mental energy is mental happiness, joy. It's just the equivalent. The more inner energy you have, the more happiness you have, the more joy. The less energy you have, the less happiness. And now you understand where depression comes from. Grumpiness, very low energy states. You understand when maybe your loved ones come home from work after a busy day stuck in the traffic. When they come home, they're angry at you. They're not in a good mood. Nothing to do with you. Everything to do with their low energy. They've been struggling so hard all day just to get through the day and get home. Low energy. Grumpy. So don't take that as a personal failure. It is just normal, natural, cause and effect. So, you understand how to deal with it. Don't even talk to your husband until after an hour, after he's gone home, after he's had a good cup of tea or coffee or something to eat. And then he's human again. You can actually relate to him. It's just low energy, he needs to boost his energy up again. So, this is understanding where that comes from, and also the depression. Sometimes I wonder, there was not so much depression around when I was a young man. Depression is a much modern illness. Why? What is it? Stress, too much work, too much struggle. That's why we get depressed. We're wasting too much energy, we don't know how to recover. So if you can learn how to be peaceful, be still, then your energies are preserved, energies go up, much less likely to suffer depression. Much less likely to get angry and upset. Your high energy does. Simply because you know how to be still. So, this is where we learn. Cause and effect. We understand the peaceometer, how to be peaceful. You know what I was saying yesterday about peaceometer? First of all, relax the body, get to know your body, relax it, it's nice and peaceful. And then you don't get that soft and torpor, which means you don't have to struggle. You rest it, you feel good, healthy. And then you go up to the mind, look at your peaceometer. Be mindful of that chitta, the mind. How peaceful or how agitated it is. Once you know that, you really get to know it well. You can describe it to yourself, you can give it a number, not just 1 to 10. Decimal places. My peace right now is about 3.265. Know it clearly. So when you know it clearly like that, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, 3.2 is enough. But you know it clearly because you're aware of it, it's something you paid attention to. Then you can get some control of it. You know what makes you more agitated, what makes you more peaceful. You're learning how to meditate from the feedback. You're watching the right area, how to become more and more and more peaceful. Wow. And that is the beginning of meditation. And from there, you take off into watching things like the breath or anything else you want to do. And that's the start. Okay, so there we go. That's this morning's talk for now. Any questions from the floor about this? I've got an itchy nose because I inherited this from my father. I inherited many things from my father, telling bad jokes. I got that from my father. You know one of the jokes I remember this from my father. He came home one day, and I was only a school kid. He said, "Oh, terrible news. One of my friends had a motorbike accident." When we went to the hospital, you know, this was years ago. It still happens sometimes, isn't it? Went to the hospital, they had to amputate his leg. They amputated the wrong one. So as soon as they found out, straight back into surgery, found protective was really needed to be taken off. So he lost both his legs. And as soon as he recovered, was out of hospital, he hired a lawyer and sued the hospital. He lost his case. He didn't have a leg to stand on. It's a joke! Not having a leg to stand on is a metaphor. You've got no case. He told that joke, really sick joke. That was my father. So, it's in my genes, okay? I can't do anything about it. So that's a cause and effect. But he also had asthma. I haven't got asthma, but I've got allergies, and so every now and again I've got a really itchy nose. So it'd be wonderful if there's any doctors here. It's amazing, sort of, the advances in medicine. You can now have skin transplants, whole face transplants. You can have heart transplants, lung transplants. I'm just waiting for a nose transplant. My nose sucks. It's terrible. It's always sneezing or itching. So if anyone's got, if you die and have an organ donor, can you put down your nose for Ajahn Brahm, please? Your nose, thank you very much. The solution to that is surgery. Die. Before again. Maybe next time with a better nose. I don't know what I did to get a bad nose. Maybe I punched the monkey in the nose or something. Because my nose is no good. Anything else is okay. Anyway, any serious questions before we finish up? Okay, so now is the opportunity. It's now 10 o'clock. So your lunch is 12:30, is it? 12 o'clock is your lunch. So you've got a couple of hours. You can actually meditate here in this room or go downstairs and do some walking meditation. Maybe tomorrow I'll talk a little bit about walking meditation. So you can try downstairs walking meditation. Or if you really want to try the Ananda method, back in your room, make sure you're up by 12 by lunchtime. Actually, it's amazing. People can sleep through the morning meeting. I've never known anyone sleep through lunch. Not ever Singapore. You have a body clock inside. You wake up when it's time for lunch. So anyway, have a beautiful morning. Relax. Make peace. Watch the peaceometer and see how you can make your life more and more peaceful. Okay. Happy meditating.